a lot of men are watching our podcast, but they won't comment.
No.
Yeah.
But they'll send text messages.
Yes.
And responses.
I'm gonna try to approach this lightly. Look, and it's amazing to me how many people are projecting their insecurities or their, let's just say it. Most of them are.
This is Legra.
This is Stephanie.
This is Cherie.
And this is Ivania. And this is Timeless and Unfiltered, where we are spilling the tea on midlife, one laugh at a time.
Welcome back to another episode of Timeless and Unfiltered. I'm Stephanie.
That was so mechanical.
Listen, because this ain't my thing. It's her thing.
I'm Legra.
I'm Cherie.
And we are spilling the tea on midlife.
One laugh at a time.
Take it away, Legra.
I know, you're so crazy. I might notice we're missing one.
She's here in spirit.
She's here in spirit. Well, this is what, graduation season, travel season. Yeah, so we're missing Ivania today, but she'll be back. Yeah. She'll be back. But over the next couple of weeks, all our schedules are crazy. So it's going to be a few episodes that one of us might be missing.
Yeah, throughout the summer.
Yeah, one of us might be missing because that's what we outside. In these streets. We outside, okay? But this I'm trying to see how we're gonna approach this topic today. Well, let's start with, it's been an amazing couple of weeks since we've launched our podcast, and it's amazing the demographics that are watching our podcast. But a lot of men are watching our podcast, but they won't comment.
No.
Yeah. We're a guilty pleasure.
But they'll send text messages.
Yes.
And responses.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll send text messages and things. Now, I'm gonna try to approach this lightly. Look, so
you don't approach it lightly. Go on. Go on.
I'm gonna try to, so your phone ain't blowing up this week, Stephanie.
Don't nobody like me.
So your phone not blowing up this week. No, we're going to let's talk about, I don't know, do you want to be married, not being married? Are you here for a relationship? You're here for a good time? Just kind of where we are. And this all kind of came up too because we know that Stephanie was, I don't know which term to use, in a relationship.
I'm not anymore.
I was gonna let you say it.
I was gonna let you me anymore.
But you know what? I always say things. I mean, things happen for a season.
I'm sick of these seasons.
I know, girl. I know. What's it? Winter, spring, summer, fall.
I'll give you my
For a season, right? For a season.
I love
for a season. But it's amazing to me how many men are watching our podcast that are commenting privately.
Yeah.
But they won't comment on the episode. They won't. But they want you to acknowledge. But they want you to acknowledge something that you've said on the show. And I'm going to say you probably are getting more of a hit than we are. Than we are. You wanna explain a little bit or no?
I love everybody.
Well, this is my feeling. This is my feeling. And we talked about this briefly before we started filming. Our podcast is about our experiences. And it's amazing to me how many people are projecting their insecurities or their, let's just say it, most of them are men, projecting their insecurities or their lack of something that they think they may have done or didn't do. First of all, we haven't named anybody's names
at all.
And what do we always say? A hit dog will holler. So if you feel the need to call or to text because an experience or something that we've shared has triggered something that you think now you need to respond to. Now, we also have men saying, y'all need to have a man on the couch.
Yeah.
You need to have a man on the couch. Why do we need to have a man on the couch? Because we're not talking about
Provide
men.
a different perspective.
Yeah, but we're not talking about men.
We've made some comments.
No, let's start with this. You've made some comments, but I feel like you've made them
They've
from
been general and from
Very
my
generalized.
experience.
your
Right,
experiences.
From my experiences, like when I say men don't approach me when I'm out, or
And that's your experience.
that's been my experience. So
now we need men to explain. Now they feel
why
like
they don't approach me, I guess. One told me I look mean as shit. So it's like, look at you look mean. And I was like, oh, okay, well.
Well, I'm not for you.
Walking around cheesing all the time. That's just not the person I am. And what's crazy is that my last relationship, I gave him much respect because no one approaches me. And the fact that he approached me, I was like, finally somebody
Because I remember
said something to me.
you talking about that.
But when I think in hindsight, it's because I was coming out of a bar, singing and dancing and having a good time.
But you always are.
And I look
Always.
even in the bar, I'm down, I'm having a good time,
Yeah.
and people don't say anything.
Yes.
And I actually had a friend's husband tell me years ago, he was a Kappa, and we were at a Kappa casino night. I think I was in my early 30s, and I was there with him and his wife, third wheel forever. And we were there, and he came up and he said, Steph, he was like, so many of my bros want to approach you, but you look mean, and they are scared to say something to you. And I'm like, what?
And you dancing, and I know you.
No, well, me and her were just in the corner talking at the
Okay.
time. We had on suits, and we were just like that. So he was like, listen, please try this. He said, please. He said, go over there, talk to my wife. He said, act like y'all laughing, crack some jokes. He said, please smile and act like you're fun. And I'm like, why I got to do this? Like, Jesus. And I was like, whatever. And so I was like, girl, this is so crazy, girl, that I got to. And people started talking to me. And so I learned that a lot of men, I think, like I said, I feel like I have a resting bitch face a lot of times. And so people are scared to approach me. And that's why I'm like, very approachable, and I'm not rude. I'm not gonna be like, ugh, get away from me. Why are you talking? I'm not that lady. But I guess my face gives that off. And so when I started doing that, then people would approach me. So like I said, in my last relationship, I was coming out the bar having a good time. And I guess he felt like, she looked a little fun. Hey, where you going? You taking the party? Where you going? Come on back in. So I think, and that's because no one talks to me. And so then we latched on and we had a lot in common or whatever. But y'all better catch me when I'm out.
Do you think it's because, a lot of men are afraid of the rejection part?
I do think so. And I thank God that built y'all up for that. I can't take rejection. That's why I was like, oh, I could never be a man because I know they're like just built for a lot of rejection and you have to take a lot of rejection. And so I don't know. I feel bad for y'all. I'm still not saying nothing to you though. I'm like, we just all gonna be rejected because I ain't saying nothing to you.
So you don't see men or see someone and be like, oh, you just sit there the whole time and say, oh, I hope he come talk to me.
Because I did that. Listen. Because I did that 2 times in my life. And my dad always told me when I was 19, he said, men are the hunters and women are the hunted. And 2 times in my life, I decided, I'm going to say something to this and got my face cracked. And then that's when I realized that men have a preference. So the one dude that I thought was cute and was trying to talk to, he only liked light-skinned women. And so I was too dark for him. So he like, yeah, you ain't my type. And then I tried talking to another guy. We out there dancing. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, you a little too little for me. I like your homegirl because she was a thick, voluptuous woman. And I was like, damn. So that's why I was like, I'm not approaching a man because men have their preferences. They know what they like. I'm not trying to get rejected. We do.
have our preferences. We know we like.
do.
So if they approach us, then they're getting rejected as well.
I do it in a nice way.
I mean,
why she do all of this?
you know what I mean?
To people.
Or I mean, whoever. Like, I don't know. For me, and you guys know this, I don't have a problem.
Going to say something to somebody.
Honey, Sharice will go pull you out the rafters.
Yeah, I don't have a problem approaching somebody because it's 50-50. You never know if you don't try. And I, come from the old school, the old rules, but I don't live by, and I don't live by Frank Sinatra. I always do it my way. So I don't live by any of those rules anyway, but you have a 50-50 chance.
I'm a punk. I ain't made up like that.
You know?
Because I'll cry. Oh,
But rejection
baby,
doesn't,
yes, I
it
do
doesn't
not
bother
wanna
me
be
either.
rejected.
Like
I know this is going to sound
Rejection
really
doesn't
terrible,
bother
but I'm not rejected very often. But I also don't approach very often. Oh, this is going to sound so mean and terrible. I don't like people very often.
yeah. Well, no, that's not me.
I rarely see, I think younger me, I think saw a lot of the physical traits of men that I liked. And so I'd be like, hey, you know, and then a lot of times, well, I think too, things are a little bit different than they were back then. And especially too at our age, younger me, you just kind of made yourself available. I'm gonna go walk to the bar. Because sometimes because we're in a herd with the hen house, men don't want to come into the hen house because now not only are you being rejected, but it's also in front of the girlfriends and all that kind of stuff. Men used to send drinks because we kind of had this conversation a little bit on your episode. Men used to send drinks, you know, do you send one or you got to send the whole table, all that kind of thing. So sometimes you got to pull yourself out the herd. Pull yourself out the herd. I don't care if you go into the ladies' room. I can't tell you how many times you just go into the ladies' room.
Excuse me, I want to talk to you.
And that's a pet peeve for me. That's a pet peeve for me. Not that you're talking to me, but don't grab me.
Yeah.
I never like that. You could do that, you know, excuse me, you know, or something like that. But that grab thing, see, then the other leg kind of come out.
Ready
and
to knuckle up.
I'm not as pleasant. Because it's first of all, you don't know me, but you don't
invade
never
my space.
right. Don't
Don't do
invade
that.
my
Don't do
personal
that.
space like that. But I don't know. But now I think when I'm out, like the grocery store, getting something to eat, like it ain't even the club scene no more. It's the gas station or whatever. I don't know if just I got a filter on or something. Like the physical is not as important to me anymore. So you not approaching me, I rarely see men I'm attracted to physically. I know that sounds crazy. I'm attracted to power. I've noticed that. I love a man that got some power body. I love a big boy with some swag. Now, only thing I can say I don't really like is skinny. Is thin. But that's my insecurity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna be the fat bitch in a relationship with your little skinny ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got enough body issues and concerns already. I ain't gonna never be I ain't gonna be the big one and you the little skinny brother. But that also is part of the tomboy in me, because I'm still
I just heard, what's his face say, if
tomboyish.
you ain't too something, we ain't gonna do nothing.
Right.
I need you to have some meat on your body.
Right. Like I think I go into, I'm kind of protective. Well, y'all already know I'm protective of my friends. I'm protective of my family. I'm protective of my circle. And family don't mean blood. And that's my relationships. You part of my family. I'm very protective of that. So when I'm with a person that's smaller than me, I'm in more of a protective mode, which is why I like bigger men.
Yeah,
I like taller men, whatever, because I like to feel protected. Because, you know, I have a little...
Not that little men aren't strong.
They're not. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not, strong. But this is my preference.
Right. Yeah.
And us in saying our preferences is cracking me up. And that kind of brings us back to the conversation with you. When we stating what we like or what we've been through our preferences, it's amazing to me how people watching have internalized that to say, I'm not talking about, who say I'm talking about you? I'm talking about what I like. What I like or what has happened to me and how now you've projecting your insecurities, and now you feel the need to text me privately because you got some, because I said something about what I like or what I want or whatever. So that was kind of how that circled back to that. But yeah, I don't meet. I'm rarely attracted to anybody anymore, and I know that's crazy. As much as I do love. I do. I love, but the things that were so important to me before are just not that important to me anymore. What's your credit score?
What's your Social Security check looking like?
No, it ain't even that, because one is because just education of learning what credit can do for our lives. If you and I are to get together, I don't care what your profession is. You know, it's this one thing on Instagram and Facebook. the gold digger pranks. Do y'all ever watch those? The gold digger pranks. I love
Or is that where
watching
the ladies
those.
be walking and they'll
Yeah,
see the
they'll just
guy
be
with the
walking
car
down the
and then
street.
they'll turn around and try to talk to him. He's like, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
The guy is walking down the street. He'll walk up to a young lady and he'll be like, "Hey, how you doing? You're beautiful." And I'm like, "Are you talking to me? Don't talk to me,"
that's
or whatever,
so
whatever. And and he's like, "My name is such and such." And what's your name? I don't got one. No name. None of your business. They do that whole thing. And he'd be like, "You know what? You have a good day." And then he go to get in a nice car,
and
and
they
they
turn around.
Girl, they be running back, tapping on the window,
See,
all that
that's
kind of
so
stuff.
terrible.
Cracks me up. And it's amazing that's what our young generation
Has come to.
is. Ooh, and not even just young, because there's
It's
some old
older
ones in there
They
too.
be
So we
mean.
can't blame the young
They
kids.
be mean acting.
Right.
We can't blame the young kids. You saw his nice car, and then all of a sudden. But I can tell you right now, a lot of people with a lot of things that don't mean they're generous.
Show don't.
I want a generous man, and a generous man is a giver, and he don't have to have all that money. He might finds a way to make you feel special. And generosity doesn't mean money.
It does not.
It doesn't.
It doesn't mean money. So I think now when I'm out and I see men, I just see them differently. So yeah, your credit score is important to me because I know what your credit score can do for us. For us. If you got bad credit, okay, let's get your credit fixed. That don't mean I won't talk to you. Okay, now we don't keep getting it fixed.
Right, that part. But it is that part.
Because but it's because now I look at money different.
Yeah.
I look at money differently. Prime example, we're going to close on a investment property. Credit, they looked at credit. They wanted to see bank statements. And now they're financing 93%. We don't have to come to the table with no money because you had the credit, you had the this, and now you can go and buy investment property. So we have the potential to purchase this property, literally coming to the table with like $10,000. Okay. And we'll get in that's a whole nother conversation of how you don't even have to have $10,000. But do you have good credit? Do you have a credit card that you got $5,000 on this one and $5,000 on this one? Now you can go get you a house.
Yep.
A house. And the people will give you the loan to fix it up. And now I'm going to flip this house, and this potential home is $100,000 profit. But if your house ain't in order, see, now I'm looking at men differently because I want some things in my life, and I want you to be able. What can we do together? So that whole topic of what you bring to the table. Are you bringing a credit score to the table? That's what I need. I need you to have good credit, because if you got good credit, I can help you. If you already don't know how to leverage your credit to be able to get access to funding, what, you want to start a business, baby? What business you want to start? You got good credit?
Money.
Okay, let me show you how you can get the money to start that business because you got a good credit score. So when I look at men,
I look at
my
you
look is a
differently.
little differently right now. It's a little, it's just different. But I don't know if that's age, is that maturity, is that education? I don't know what it is.
I think all of it and life
yeah.
experiences.
I think it's all of it. And I think that everybody look for something different, right? So like you said, I love power, I want credit.
I do, I'm attracted
You know
to
what I mean?
power.
Everybody have something different that they want and or need. You know what I mean? In a relationship. Now I do think that's important. I'm not maturity.
Oh,
We're not going
Jesus.
backwards and trying to figure out the credit and get your score up and all of that stuff. Like that's over, right?
Right.
But yeah, it's just for everybody. It's something different.
Yeah. Now I still like sexy though. Now, don't get me wrong, because she still got to percolate when I see you.
Right.
But you want to make me percolate? Come with a good credit score.
Oh, Jesus.
Come with a good credit score.
Maybe I'm at a 9-10.
You know what I'm saying? I like to see a man that's at this age of my life doing his thing.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that is, I don't even care. That's what I say, your profession is not important to me anymore. Back in the day, you wanted a man that did this or you wanted to did that. That's not important to me anymore. What are you doing now? And in your 50s, I don't have a lot of time for people that's fixing to.
No,
Or
I
getting
agree
ready
with
to,
that.
Yeah.
or one day I want to.
Yeah.
And I'm going, well, when does that
When
day
does that
start?
begin?
Because we in our 50s, bro.
Hello.
Yeah, it's like you 40 something wanting to be a rapper. What? You still chasing that career? I mean, but it's what you said.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
it's
Don't get me wrong, because
not.
Killer Mike just won all kind of Grammys.
Yeah,
and all
even
that
that.
kind of stuff. Shout
Is
out
he
to Killer
new?
Mike.
No, he's
right,
been
he-
around.
that's
But
my
he was
point.
still chasing the dream to get there.
Yeah, at 40 something, I hear you 40 something. You can't tell me I'm still trying to be a rapper, so I'm still
Well,
saying
if
that.
not,
That's all I'm
then
saying.
when? It's like, to me, it's never too late to try to do what you want to do.
But remember, we just said we're all different. I mean, we
Yeah,
all
yeah,
want
yeah,
something
yeah,
different. So
yeah.
for me,
You like,
it's just not my life.
And for me, I'm looking at what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's not that you can't. First of all, you can always start something new.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
never
absolutely.
it's never too late. But I think I'm over the dreamer
yeah,
stage.
you want
I
them
think
to be in there.
we
I'm doing
dreamed
it.
back then. Now you
I'm
got
doing
to
it.
in your 50s. You got to be doing. It got to be
Do it.
in motion.
Yeah.
Even if you're not. I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm not where I want to be, but I'm still.
I don't think any of us are. It's
I'm
always
still
a
trying to
progression.
get there. I'm still trying to get there. But that person that sits back and just say, one day I'm gonna, well, when is one day when you're in your 50s?
When they wait for you to help them do it.
When you're in your 50s. So
When they
yeah,
wait
so
for
I'm,
you.
but it's just, these are our own preferences. These are our own experiences that we've had. And it's just been amazing to me how our male audience
Has something to say.
I got privately comment. Look, whichever camera.
Yeah, comment.
on. If you got something to say, comment on it.
Yeah, we look at
respond.
comments,
We look at
yeah.
all the comments. Yeah, you ain't got to call privately. You ain't got to text privately. And a hit dog will holler.
Well, I
The
think it's-
conversation might not even have been about you.
And I think it's interesting. I think I talked to you. I may have said something to you and Stephanie, but we did that one on marriage with Cheryl. And you're either married or you're single, right?
Right.
And so several people actually said something to my boo about she's sitting on there talking
She's sitting on there talking about she's single.
What are y'all talking about? Like,
I'm not
the
married.
the people that reach out and say something to her about this podcast thing is like crazy. I'm not. And the
You're
fact
not
that I had to
married.
talk about that,
Yeah.
and based on what was happening, you were married or you were single.
Single, right.
What are we talking about? And why
Or
do
married
people
and
feel that,
unmarried.
like they can
Right,
call
but
you
they're watching.
and make comments to you? Right, they are watching. But that's why y'all know I told y'all I don't even go back and watch and look at the comments because my personality can't take it.
Your
I
little
be really-
personality disorder.
I can't.
Like, man, I'm
I'm
about to
too.
nut up.
I'm too wired for all of that. Like,
Yeah.
what?
What are we doing? What
But
are we
to
doing?
your point, they are watching.
Yeah.
But why y'all have to do that?
Oh, it's been
negative
funny.
stuff. It's just ridiculous.
It's funny. It's funny. So look,
It's the world.
we making your life hard over there, Stephanie.
It's already hard.
I mean, I'm sure it's hard. One of the things we talked about is that grieving,
it's
a
like a
relationship
death.
when it's over.
It
So
is. You have to
it's-
mourn and grieve. Your
It doesn't mean
relationship.
it's easy.
It's
Those kind of
not.
decisions are they're just really hard. And then when you get on here and we're all of us, when we're saying things, we're not, none of us are like this. We're not saying anything negative
No.
towards the person we
Oh,
were
no.
currently with at all. We're having generalized conversations like talking about men.
Yeah.
I'm not even with a guy, but I sit here and have these conversations, right? And she could be like, well, damn, what? I want people to know. But that's not what we're doing. We're just
Right.
having generalized
conversations.
conversations. And so we can't just take everything and personalize it to ourselves to appease somebody else.
Yeah.
When we get on this type of platform, you need people who are strong enough to withstand whatever you're talking about, and they're okay because they know that y'all are good and you're just having a
we're
conversation.
good. You're just having a conversation.
So, and it's what you said, the hit dogs,
Will holler.
the conversations, the feedback, the follow-up, it's a lot from the guys. It's
But
like,
part
this
of that
ain't
too,
about you.
we've had our conversation about boundaries.
Yeah.
About boundaries. And I'm the first person to tell everybody, don't listen to me because you will be single. Because one thing I have learned, and it's taken me time to get here, is I have very strict and firm boundaries. If it disrupts my peace,
Oh, absolutely.
if it disrupts my peace, if you and I are in a relationship and we are no longer together, I don't need to call you no more. There's no conversation. We don't need to talk. I'm okay with that. But what you're not going to do is call me with your trick because something has triggered you and now you need to project that back onto me. We're together. We're not together. If we're not together, I can say whatever I want to say about how I feel and my feelings, my perspective, same way you can do the same about your feelings and all those kind of things. But what you can't do is call me to bother me with yours.
Right. No, I agree with that. 100%.
That's called setting boundaries.
100%. I agree with that.
You cannot disrupt my peace. And you're in a mourning period. This is a mourning period. So that constant antagonizing, that just keeps ripping the Band-Aid back off.
Yeah.
You got to heal. Give yourself time to heal. And that means you got to set boundaries. And you know, and I know your ex. I like him.
Me too.
From what I know of him. But I'm not in a relationship with him. You know what I'm saying? I like him. And so that's what I'm saying. It's not anything negative. That's the same thing with me and my ex-husband. My ex-husband is a great guy. We're just not meant to be together. It don't take away from him being a great guy.
Yeah, that's what I was like. He's not a bad person.
That's what I'm like. And you've
guy.
never said anything about him. He's like, man, he's so much fun or whatever. And because the two of you don't make it in a relationship, don't take away any from him being a great guy or you being a great woman. It just weren't meant for y'all two to be together. That's it, So, but all that, she'll be, yeah, I know. But that constant this, that just keeps ripping that Band-Aid back off. You're gonna have to set your boundaries. Cause I might have some shit I need him to fix around here one day. So don't be mad. I'll be like, Stephanie, y'all cool yet?
I'm gonna find somebody else.
And I'll be like, can you call him and have him come fix that over there for me?
And no.
Cause he good at is what he do.
He's great.
He is.
But not over here.
That's
I'm not
the hurt.
like that.
I know you're not. And I know you're not.
That's a whole nother conversation, right? Like for real, that is a whole nother conversation about exes and then those connections.
Yeah.
My ex-husband, we're going to be filming an episode in Jamaica in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
All four of us will be together in Jamaica. I called and invited my ex-husband and his wife to come.
That's so progressive.
Because my son is going to be there. My son is going to be there. And we've never all been in the same whatever at the same time. I don't have anything against his current wife. He's a great guy.
That's an interesting topic.
It's so progressive.
And let me tell you why that's an interesting topic, because, oh my gosh, that would be a really good topic.
Okay, well, we're going to hold it there for another episode then.
That's a good topic.
Because it's so progressive.
It's so progressive that I can just hear all the comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baby boy, I'm set up.
Well, we already know. Well, yeah, we're going to have to talk about that next episode. We're going to have to talk about that next episode because we're going to get off of here. We miss you, Ivania.
We do.
We miss you. But we're done for today. But listen, man, we are not talking about you.
At all.
Look, in every camera, all right?
At all.
We are not talking about you. We are talking about our experiences. But we would love to hear from you.
Yes.
We would love to hear from you.
So that was just level setting.
Yeah, in general.
Yeah.
We would love to hear from you.
Watch, comment, like, share, subscribe.
Y'all know we got voicemail. Leave a voicemail for us if you have a topic you want us to talk about. And then I think we were talking about, Stephanie brought it up too, we're going to start doing some lives. You come on and talk to us.
And talk
to us live. Ask some questions. Defend yourself since you feel like you need to defend yourself. All those kind of things. But anyway, y'all, this is Timeless and Unfiltered, and I'm Legra.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Cherise.
And we missing Ivania. But we gonna keep coming back, spilling it to your midlife one laugh at a time. We'll talk to y'all later.